Hello students. For those of you who don't know me already, my name is Ms. Ruth and I am a longtime volunteer with the public schools in Oakland, California. Today is May 10th, 2020, and like the rest of you, I am sheltering in place. But I feel like we need something creative to deal with this crisis, and we need to have our music. So today we're going to construct our own musical instrument using things around the house. And I want you to keep a few things in mind when you do this, because this is experimental, and with experiments you have to remember that they are 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration. And that means that when you have an idea, that's worth 1%. But making it work, that requires 99% worth of effort. So to give you an idea of that, when I started this project, this entire table was covered with different things as I was trying to figure out which ones I wanted to use. And not only that, but this is the 4th time that I am making this video, because I thought I was done the other 3 times, but when I looked them over, I decided, no, this has got to be better for you guys. So I had to get everything out again, set it all up again, get all dented up again, and make it again. So now let's hope that this time works, because I just hope that it works. I hope it's good enough for you this time. So let's talk about what you will need in order to do this project. And I hope I have everything here. You will need an assortment of flower pots, maybe, like these things. You will need maybe some bowls, okay? And I should probably make mention of the sound of these, the flower pots and the bowls. You could use glasses, like this, or like this one here. You could use jars. Maybe you could even use bottles. But if you use bottles and they don't work for this, I want you to save them for another project that we could do, which is to blow on the bottles. And we can make some musical instrument that way too. So that'll be for another day. Let me just get this out of the way. So all of these things you can use. You also will need a pitcher of water, which I will explain how to use in just a few minutes. Even metal bowls sometimes work. So that's a possibility, but the best, and then also keep in mind, these are a few things to save you a little time. If you have a square jar, that does not work as well as a round jar. You hear the difference? So I would avoid the square jars. Plastic bowls, not for this project. We're not using them. So away with that. Okay, then there could be like things with handles. And I think that things with handles maybe don't work as well either, because they don't produce a clear tone. But, you know, if you have nothing else, you can try it. But it's not as clear as that one, right? So I am deciding not to use that. Okay, so let me see what else we got here. Oh, this thing, I forgot to put this label over here. That's supposed to be here, because I rejected that thing in favor of this one. Okay, so let me put that there. Okay, so one thing I also want you to keep in mind about this is that when you do it and you set all this up, you are going to be standing on this side, okay, facing all of these things and playing like this, right? But I have to do it backwards, otherwise I would be standing in front of you and you wouldn't be able to see what's really going on. So just keep that in mind, that you are actually going to be standing over there where the camera is, but I got to do it from over here so that you can see what I'm doing. All right, so those are the things that you're going to need. And then we have a few rules and procedures So I want to present those to you also because they're important. And the first thing is, be sure that you get permission, permission to do this, because you're going to be using other people's things. So you want to have their permission. Then when you are tapping, you really have to tap very lightly, okay? So I would pretend that this is like a magic wizard wand, and I'm just going to go poof on each thing. Keep my wrist very loose, okay? And that way I will not break anything, hopefully. And also use a something wooden like a chopstick or the end of a spoon. Your longest pencil would work, a Sharpie marker, all right? But always tapping very lightly. All right, so then what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to do like I did, which was to have the table covered with all of these different things, and you test them out to see which ones might have nice tones. And then what you got to do is organize all that stuff. So you put the lower things on this side, you put the medium things in kind of the middle, and you put the higher things over on that side. And that way they start to get organized. And then you're going to be, arranging low to medium to high. And you're going to, in your mind or out loud, you're going to sing DoReMiFaSol, because you got to get them to sound like DoReMi, right? Right? So that's what you're going to have. You have to be able to hear that in order to find out which ones of all the pots and bowls and glasses and jars that you have out here, which ones are going to work. So let's say, for example, that you got 3 of them to work. So you could already play a song with just those 3. And that would be Mary Had a Little Lamb, for example. So in order to make this work in the future for you, and if you want to do it again, I would suggest that you number your glasses and jars and things. So this would be number 1, and 2, and 3, which is the same as Do, Re, Mi. And it's actually also the same as the musical alphabet. And if you recall from some videos you may have listened to already, the alphabet of music is only A, B, C, D, E, F, G. That's all we got, 7 letters. But you can start on any letter. So if you start on C, you would just go through the alphabet until you came around to A, and you would start over again, A, B, C, right? So I would have C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, and it would keep on going. So Do, Re, Mi is the same as C, D, and E. So you can label them that way too. And I would recommend that so that you get experience with all of how music works. So if I were to play Mary Had a Little Lamb on the numbers, I would go 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 3, 3, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 3, 3, 2, 2, 3, 2, 1. And I could also do E, D, C, D, E, 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 D, 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 E, 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 D, C, D, E, 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 D, D, E, D, C. So that could be a start for you. And you could play also hot cross buns. All right? So hot cross buns. So that's something you could do with just 3 notes. And I should point out to you one thing, that your number 1, may not be this particular note. Your number 1 could be like this. But and then at that point you could just go 1, 2, because that sounds like do, re, mi. Okay? So I just don't want you to think it has to sound exactly like mine. Yours could sound somewhat different, but it would still go do, re, mi, or 1, 2, 3, or C, D, E. All of those things are the same, no matter which note you start on with your bowls and glasses. All right? Okay. So let's say that you were able to get 1, 2, 3, 4 notes. Okay, so that's do, re, mi, fa. So you could play, from there you could play Lean on Me. So that's 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2, 1, or it could be C, C, D, E, F, F, E, D, C, right? All of those would work. And that would be Lean on Me. Very nice song that you could play. And then we're going to have to keep building because, of course, we want to play more songs than that. We need more notes. So let's say we went here. I don't know about that one. So that's where the water comes in. And with this water, we can change the tones of our music. So the way it works is every time you add more water, you're going to get a lower tone. So I'm going to use this one to demonstrate because it's a little easier to see and hear than that one, but then I'm going to get to that one and fix that one. Okay, so here we are at our original note. It's getting lower. And once you start getting toward the top, it takes less and less water to change the tone. All right, so now you hear that the tone has gone down to here. If I take water out, it's going to go higher. So that's how that works. And then we now have to fix this note here because that note is not the note that we want to hear when we get to do, re, mi, fa, sol. Okay? So we went, it's too high. So we'll add some water. That might do it. Let's try that. Not bad. Yes. And then if we keep going, not too shabby. We could go, oh, actually I have something here. So this jar actually made the same note as this bowl. And by the way, I elevated the bowls on like cans of paint and stuff so that they would kind of be more level for you to be able to read the names and the numbers. So I could have used a jar or I could use this bowl here. I decided I like the tone of the bowl better, so I'm going to let that jar go. And then, see, that one sounds a little peculiar also. I think that one is a bit too high, so I could add some water to that one too. Let's see. Right, okay. So there we have quite a few notes that we can play with. So let us consider what we've done here, because you can, I think you can hear that we did do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, and and then it went from there to starting the alphabet over. And so it kept on going. So this do, you can hear that the other ones, once we start the alphabet over again, those are much higher. Or if we had accidentally, it could turned out that way, that this was the first note that you got, like this one. So maybe you would discover some lower versions of those later on. But whatever notes that you get, you want to be able to do something with. So now we already did something with like 3 notes, 4 notes. What if we have 5 notes? We could play "Oh, When the Saints Go Marching In." And what I plan to do is to put all the numbers and the letter names down for you on a separate sheet so that you don't have to keep watching me do this and find out how to do it. I'll have those numbers down there for you, and once you set up your instrument, you will be able to play many, many songs. Let me check my notes here to make sure that I have told you everything I'm supposed to tell you. So let's see, we got all of that stuff. Oh, of course, you can stop and start this video at any time in order to give yourself time to process what I've been telling you, because there's really a lot of stuff to keep track of here. But once you get that, then you've got music. And I would suggest you do what I did too, which was to take a picture. Take a picture of yourself doing this, because once you get it kind of set up, in case you have to take it down and then set it back up again later, it's nice to be able to refer to which things were at which place, and that way you can redo it. Because as I told you, I had to do this like 4 times, and so it was good for me to take out my picture that I had, and then I could easily set it up again. So I'm going to just kind of remove these things because I'm not using them anymore right now, and I want to give you one more song that you can do. And that would be with 6 notes, which would enable you to play "Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star." So if I were to give you the numbers right now, that'd be 1, 1, 5, 5, 6, 6, 5, 4, 4, 3, 3, 2, 2, 1. 1, 1, 5, 5, 6, 6, 5, 4, 4, 3, 3, 2, 2, 1. 5, 5, 4, 4, 3, 3, 2. 5, 5, 4, 4, 3, 3, 2. 1, 1, 5, 5, 6, 6, 5, 4, 4, 3, 3, 2, 2, 1. And that should be, I hope, enough to enable you to get started on this. And I would love it if you were able to get some notes like this and play a few tunes. And if you do, then maybe you will consider getting a little do-det up and play, or do-det up, and play a little recital for someone in your family. So make it special, because you are special. If you can do this, which I think you can, then it should be remembered that you were so smart and you had put in a lot of effort and you succeeded. All right, have a good time, and I'll see you again later.